All right. Good morning, my friends. Happy Monday. It is time. Right now, it is time to prepare for the crash. There is no time to waste. I woke up at 4:24 this morning. My alarm goes off at 4:30. And the house was kind of shaking. And I'm like, what is that? It was wind. And so right now we have this massive windstorm going on right now. You can kind of see the trees. Maybe you can see them kind of blowing out there. This is protected. This is protected. And the trees are just going like crazy. The wind's blowing 20 miles an hour, gusted to 40, 45, and times last night 50. We had at like 5, I don't know what it was. It was a little before 5 a.m. this morning. The transformer blew, and we completely lost electricity for a little bit. And I know it's because of the wind. Yesterday, the weather yesterday, it was perfect. I mean, it was beautiful. It was sunny. It was calm. Everything was like so perfect. And it in the middle of the perfection, of the perfectness. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Sarah from Sacramento. As you come on, post where you're from. Love that. In the middle of the perfectness, when everything is perfect, it's hard to imagine what's about to happen. So today I want to talk about preparing for the crash because it's coming. The housing market crash is coming. And I'm going to talk about the characteristics of it and why we don't prepare for it and why it kills us. And why in the last economic collapse, or the housing market bubble crashed. And by the way, last week, who was it? I can't remember who it was, but it was like, I don't remember, some real estate entity. And I want to say, I'm not sure if it was the Fed or the National Mortgage Association or somebody said, they acknowledged we are in a housing bubble. Now, there is one dynamic, one thing we know for sure from history about housing bubbles. Here's what we know about housing bubbles. Pay attention. They pop. That's what happens. It's history. It's never not happened. They all pop. We know this about stock market bubbles. And we are in a huge stock market bubble right now that just keeps getting more air pumped into it by the feds, and more air and more air and more air and more air, and just keeps getting pumped into it. Here's what we know historically. Every single time, no exceptions, zero exceptions in the history of mankind, of humanity, they crash. Now, here's the problem. The problem is it doesn't seem like it's going to happen now, and it doesn't. It feels like, man, the housing market, I mean, I was just reading today, that there were more homes sold, the most number of homes sold in 2020, more homes sold in 2020 than any year for 14 years. Do you remember what was happening 14 years ago? For those of you that were in real estate like me, it was 2006. In 2006, it was the height of the housing bubble. And it was euphoria. It was, everybody, the feds, politicians, NAR, the economists, they're all saying, this is gonna go on forever. It was like the roaring 20s. It could never end. This is the new world. The new world is better than it's ever been before. History does not repeat itself. History is not going to repeat itself this time. It's going to be better this time than it's ever been before. This time is different. This time is, here's the thing. I was thinking about what does every crash have in common? And then we're going to talk about what to do about it. And by the way, if you want to be prepared for it, if you really want to prepare for, and I'll go back and watch questions if I can. I'll see the comments here in a second. Thank you guys for the comments. Post where you're coming from. And if you have any questions, post them. I'm going to try to see them, but I'm on my phone here. I got distracted now. I can't remember what I was going to say. But with what's happening right now, it's hard to imagine. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Is I'm going to tell you, how do you know a crash is coming, and then how do you prepare for it? Okay. Now, the best and fastest way to prepare for it is get your business ready. And you want to have the strategies, the skills, the systems, the support, the success mindset in place so that when the crash happens, you can actually grow your business, expand your business rather than collapse, panic, and get out of the business. So in 2006, Okay, when the last housing market crashed, which is right where we are right now, it's 14 years ago, we had the same thing happen in 14 years ago, not with COVID, but the same type of dynamic is everybody was in euphoria. Okay, they didn't think it could ever end. And then all of a sudden, bam, it ended. And I'm gonna tell you about how you can tell it's coming and what happens when it comes. And then over the next 3 years, over 400,000 realtors went out of business. 400,000. Let that sink in for a second. Okay? 400,000. Nearly 4 out of 10 of all realtors gone out of the business, going back to work at Walmart or Home Depot or Starbucks or going back to school or doing something that meant they were broke. They were out of money. They lost their houses. They lost their cars. They lost their shit. They lost everything. And you're not ready. I'm telling you right now, most of you watching this, you're not ready. And the reason I know you're not ready is because the average in the United States, the average realtor under 2 years who've been in the business, less than 2 years, last year, the average income of realtors under 2 years was less than $10,000. And that, my friend, was in the hottest market in 14 years. And you made less than $10,000. You ain't ready. Okay, go get a real job or get ready because it's coming and I want to help you get ready. So first I'm going to just give you a real quick pitch. Go to agentmasterylive.com, get your ticket and come join me for 3 days of training that will get you prepared. Agentmasterylive.com, agentmasterylive.com. Go there, I'll post the link, but go to agentmasterylive.com and get your ticket. We got early bird tickets. It's the last week to get your early bird tickets. We've kept our prices insanely low because it's virtual and we want to help you prepare. So go to agentmasterylive.com for 3 days that will help you find out how to make every seller want you, how to find the sellers, how to win the sellers, how to get the deals, how to make the money. Okay, real simple. I'm gonna give you the best training ever. It's 100% guaranteed. If you don't agree after the first day, it's the best training you've ever had, 100% money back. Agentmasterylive.com, go get it. Even if you're in Moscow, hello, who's that from Moscow? Rena, hello Rena from Moscow. Good to see you. And by the way, this is a global issue. It's going to be global. So here's what happens. Here's what happens every single time when there is a market crash. Every time in history, there's 4 things that happen that always shock people. Number 1 is surprise. Number 1 is surprise. Type in surprise. It surprises everybody. It's like even with all the people that are saying, you know what, a market crash is coming, the economy is going to turn. Even with all that, people, when it does happen, people go like, oh, I can't believe it. It's happening. It's surprise. That's right, Cindy. They're surprised. Number 2 is the suddenness with which it happens. It's the suddenness with which it happens. Thank you for complimenting my shirt. This is my Patagonia, baby. Just my workout stuff. Patagonia and Lululemon underneath. There's surprise and there's suddenness. It's like we didn't see it coming. I can't believe what happened. What triggered it? And most of the time, nobody can tell what triggered it. They still say to this day, the stock market crash of 1929, they still cannot agree on what actually was the trigger that caused it to happen. And when it happened, everybody got surprised and it was absolutely sudden. Number three is the severity of it. The severity of it. It is always more severe than people think it's going to be. Because we've been sedated by so many years of having it good. It's been over 10 years that we've been in economic expansion. Over 10 years, even with COVID, even with the economy collapsing, the real economy collapsing, with unemployment through the roof, unemployment filings every month continuing to happen, businesses closing down left and right, shutdowns, lockdowns, economy's down, tax revenue through the floor. I mean, it's insane. It is drastic. And what's going to happen when all of this comes home is it is going to be sudden, it is going to catch everybody by surprise, and it's going to be more severe than you can imagine. I want you to be crystal clear on this. You think you're okay right now. It is going to be more severe than you can imagine. And you better be unbreakable because it will break you. 4 out of 10 realtors will be out in the next 5 years. I believe 4 out of 10 will be out. Okay, we need to get ready for SEOs. Not really, because SEOs are down the road. It's going to be a long time before SEOs are, and with SEOs, it's only going to be one out of maybe 100 agents that are going to really do good with, not SEOs, with REOs, with real estate owned. It's not going to be the solution. You got to learn how to get business and how to convert it and how to sell real estate in a collapsing market. Okay? Go to agentmasterylive.com, get your ticket, and I'm going to train you for 3 days on that. But here's the thing. So number one is the suddenness. Number two is the surprise. It always surprises everybody. Number three is the severity of it. And number four is the suffering it causes. And it's just like the wind, guys, just like the wind that's blowing outside right now. It's kind of in a lull right now. But we've been having 30, 40 mile an hour, some gusts up to 50 miles an hour this morning here, when yesterday it was perfect. Awesome. Who is that? Somebody got their AML ticket. Awesome. Okay. So just like yesterday, we had perfect weather. It was calm. It was sunny. And this morning I wake up and our house is rattling because of 40, 50 mile an hour wind gusts hitting it. It's an absolute crazy windstorm. That's the kind of things that happen. Okay. Dates for the investment to your special training. Agent Mastery Live, February 9th, 10th, and 11th. It's in 2 weeks from tomorrow, February 9th, 10th, and 11th. It's a virtual event. You do not have to travel. I'm gonna be coming live right into your living room, right into your office, right at your desktop, and it'll be a live interactive event. So it will not be like this, me talking to you, where you'll be able to see yourself, and you'll be able to see everybody else too. Okay, it is. There'll be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of agents there, but it'll be interactive. Okay, so. Here's how somebody said, how do you prepare, explain how it's going to crash? That I just did. It's going to be surprise and it's going to be sudden. What will trigger it? I don't know. You've got, awesome, Linda. It starts at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern is the time that the Agent Mastery Live will start each day. So I don't know what's going to trigger it. I don't know if it'll be a stock market crash first, if it will be just panic selling, if it'll be forbearance coming to an end, a moratorium on evictions. I don't know what's going to cause it or where it's going to start. You're already seeing areas of pain, but you're not seeing a widespread collapse or a market collapse or a market crash. And I don't know if it'll be in the real estate sector or it'll be in the stock market sector or it will be in the dollar monetary system or if it will be something else. Okay, there is the pen that pricks the bubble is not what's relevant. I want to be crystal clear on this. It is not the pen that pricks the bubble. It is the bursting of the bubble. That's the problem. And the repercussions of that is going to be that it's going to be harder to sell a house. It's going to be harder to work with buyers and sellers because they're all freaking out. Okay, buyers get scared to buy, sellers get scared to sell, and they're still stuck in this. The severity of it, they still think their house is going to be worth more than it's worth. And if you don't know how to deal with it, you are going to be pounding your head against the wall. And then you're going to get out of the business. And I don't want that to happen for you. I don't want you to struggle. I want you to win. Okay, I want you to win. And how do you win? You prepare. You get ready for the crash. And how do you prepare for that? You got to get pushed. You got to get trained. You got to get equipped with the systems, the support, the strategies, the skills, and the success mindset to make it through the crash. Go to agentmasterylive.com and get yours. But guys, all I'm saying is the time to prepare. Now, here's what I want you to write down. Okay, here's what I want you to write down. Then I'll do some quick Q&A. Here, the time to prepare for the storm is before the storm hits. Okay? If you have not been in real estate for over a decade, you've never been gut punched. You don't know what it's like to take a punch because everything's been good. I'm watching all these real estate companies out there. They have exploded over the last few years. And it's like, man, look at these companies. They're incredible. Wow, it's amazing. Here's when you'll know how good a company is. How do they handle the crash? Are you prepared for the crash? The only time that you can prepare for the crash is before it happens. When it starts, because it happens so suddenly and it's so severe and it's so unexpected, it surprises people so much, it's too late to prepare. It's too late. Look, good. I'm going to show you something because this is the second windstorm. Hang on. I hope I don't disconnect you guys here. I'm going to take this. I'm going to just take my thing here. All right, stay with me. Stay with me, guys. I'm going to take you outside, and I'm going to show you something, okay? This is what happens when you're not prepared. You ready? This is what happens when you're not prepared. I can see the wind. Okay, see the wind blowing? You can hear the wind blowing, right? Okay, check this out. See this? See that right there? That's my brand new umbrella. It's an 11-foot beast, man. See that? Look at that. Look at that right there. There's my umbrella. We had a windstorm last week too. Guess what? I wasn't prepared. Look at this. Check this out. Right there. See that? Yep. That's what happens when a 60-mile gust of wind hits your beautiful umbrella that's all open out here. It's an 11-foot umbrella. It's just gorgeous. And bam, it's gone. By the time the windstorm comes, it's too late to prepare. It's too late to prepare. I was not prepared. I'm still irritated about it. Still upset. I've already bought me a new one. It's on its way because that one's trashed. Can't fix it. Okay? That's what you have to understand. When it hits, it's more severe, it's more sudden than you can imagine. When do you get ready for it? Right now. Before it starts, because once it starts, too late. So go to agentmasterylive.com, get your ticket. Agentmasterylive.com, get your ticket. We start 2 weeks from tomorrow. It's virtual. Okay, so you do it right where you're from. Just block it out. February 9th, 10th, and 11th, 3 days, all day, 3 days. It's from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. is the exact time, Pacific time. So it's 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern time, and then everything in between. And if you're in Russia or what people in the UK or Australia or wherever you are, English-speaking countries all over to Canada, Canada's kind of the same time frame, but wherever you are, you just got to deal with have people from Hawaii that they're going to be starting at 5 a.m. in the morning. Just is what it is. Okay. Time to prepare right now. All right, guys, that's the message for today. Get ready. It's coming. I want to help you. agentmasterylive.com. Get your ticket. We'll talk soon. Have a great week, everybody.